Texas, as the Tigers take on the Nimitz Vikings. Hey everybody, Rob Willman with you along with John Nelson as we have another one of those great rivalries between two schools as you take a look at the Irving Tigers, who hit the field first. They will be the visitors tonight, and they want to break a streak. You see that the Vikings have won 4 straight, and the Vikings, you see there coming onto the field, would like to make it 5 straight. They have won 7 of the last 10 between these two programs. Someone's got to score. That's the one thing that both teams are having trouble doing. Nimitz averaging about 13 points a ball game, and that's only because they scored 40 against MacArthur. Otherwise, they have a hard time getting in double figures scoring the football. Irving, likewise, even though they do have 1 win under their belt, they're averaging just the same, around 9 or 10 points a ball game. So something has to give offensively between these two schools to see if someone can put some points on the board. We'll also talk about the turnover ratio and what the team's doing turnover-wise that really doesn't help the cause. Both teams under some new head coaches. Small for Nimitz in his first season. For Irving, it's their second year for their head coach, David Munoz, and they're just trying to find their way around. Irving High School, they have some players that they've had to move around a little bit, but even more so for the Nimitz Vikings. So little injuries as the season is worn on. Both teams looking for that first district win. Irving 0-3 in district, Nimitz 0-4. Irving, between the two schools, the only one with the win, and that was right here on ICTN against South Garland. So the Tigers won the toss. They have elected to kick off. They'll go right to left. The Tigers will kick it, and the Vikings will take it. And with the call, Mr. Nelson.
All right, Rob Willman, thank you very much. Patrick Banich has it teed up. It is a short directional kick and gathered in at the 26-yard line. And that's where the Nimitz Vikings start, as Rob said, averaging 13 points a game. The Tiger defense allowing 37 through the first 5 weeks. And it is week 6 of the 2022 high school football season. 53rd meeting between these two teams. And Nimitz operates first. They beat the Tigers last year quite handily, 50-6 your final. Offensive line, quarterback, you'll see a lot of Pedro Maldonado tonight, number 7, as well as Ashton Thompson. And perhaps their wide receiver, Christopher Hernandez, leading the team in receptions. 1st and 10 for Pedro Maldonado with a 48% completion rate. Running play up the middle and not much, just a couple of yards. It's loose, ball is loose. Runner was stacked up and the Tigers have it.
Well, Maldonado coming up a little gimpy there on the play, but coming up with the football is number 8, Carson Nessler, the junior safety. And Maldonado, he likes to go up the middle. That's where he makes his bread and butter and his plays running the football. But he got sandwiched pretty hard, a couple of yards over the line of scrimmage, lost the football. Our first turnover of the evening. Let's watch the replay, and let's see how this unfolded. It's just a quarterback keeper faking to Thompson, goes right up the middle, and right here in the mesh of players. Oh, you see the ball squirt out. Knee might have been on the ground, John, but hey, doesn't matter.
8 seconds in and a turnover. Connor Martin and the Irving Tiger defense. A little swing pass out on the right flat, 10 yards and close to a first down. Quick strike on the outside corner. Connor Martin, your quarterback, sophomore. A 40% completion rate this year through the first 5 games. Tigers 1-4. The Nimitz Vikings overall at 0-6. It is enough for a first down, 1st and 10 at the Nimitz Viking 20-yard line. Empty backfield for Martin. He will pull it in. He'll keep it. He has a couple of yards, and that's it. Draws a crowd at the 18-yard line.
Look at the Tiger starters offensively. Upshaw, Flores, Gallo. That's something new from the last time we saw them play. Neva and Smith. You've got Martin, Benavides, Perez, Sampson, look out for him, he's a good receiver, Hills, and Webb. Webb's a tight end. He's also the backup quarterback for these Tigers.
2 backs behind Martin, number 12. One of them is Benavides, number 22. And here's the Viking defense as they close the door at the line of scrimmage all over Martin. Got some penetration down low.
Pena in on the tackle. Renteria, he's new at the defensive end. They shifted Ford over from the end to the nose guard. Simmons, your other defensive tackle. Pena, we just called his name out as a linebacker. Washington and Rodriguez. And then those in the secondary, there's 5 of them. Ross, Taylor, Gordwin, Jackson, and Griffin in the secondary.
3rd and 9 at the Viking 19. 2 receivers on either side. Here's Mark, scans the secondary, passes a little bit too tall. Intended for a receiver at the 9-yard line. He was double covered, and it'll be 4th down.
John, they might want to look at that play again and go back to it later in the ball game, because clearing out that time was Hills, I believe, number 11. And the wide receiver that he threw to basically just cleared the area, but he threw to the wrong guy. He had a man wide open 10 yards down the field on an out play.
Trying to get it to Kyle Sampson, number 9. So on 4th down, the Tigers will attempt a 36-yard field goal angled to the right. Number 27 is Banich. They reset the play clock. First possession. There you see Banich from 36 yards. Slide angle to the right. And it is blocked. It's loose, picked up as the Vikings take over near the 27.
Nice play defensively. Great special team effort for the Vikings that time. So much penetration on that line that the kicker really didn't have an opportunity to get some elevation onto his kick. And the Tigers are lucky that the Vikings did pick that one up and take it to the house.
So the turnover does not hurt Nimitz. There's another look at it from the opposite end.
Oh, right up the middle.
Ashton Thompson in the backfield with Maldonado. Man in motion. Crisscross handoff, open turf, midfield. The foot race 40 and tackle at the 35. They'll rule him down at the 35. Huge hole open on the left side as the Vikings get out of a jam. Indication by the linesman on the near side that runner was down. And that is the case, and here is the starting offense for the Nimitz Vikings.
That was a 38-yard run, by the way, for Thompson. And you take a look at the left tackle, the line, Bonilla, Aurelio, Rodriguez, Barron, and Torres, the guys up front. And then the running back was Ashton Thompson, number 4, that just had a huge hole on that left side. Holder, Hernandez, Castillo, and Horta, the tight end. That's a new start for the tight end for these Vikings. But John, what a mammoth hole on that left side as Flores and Gallo had a big hole there. Watch it again. That was Rodriguez and Barron, the guys up front.
Cage Williams shaken up, comes off the field. 1st and 10 at the 35. Swing pass, juggled and dropped out in the right flat. Yeah, the Thompson comes in with over 400 yards of rushing and a couple of touchdowns. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Yeah, that'll help his average. He's almost 6 yards a carry every time he touches the football.
Christopher Hernandez, number 12, wide to the left. Twin receivers on the right side. From the 35, handoff straight ahead. Piled up after a 6-yard gain.
That's Duran, number 21. Luciano, who we saw the last time on ICTN, started picking up some more playing time, replacing Thompson, giving him an opportunity to take a breather. And in fact, they moved Duran off of the defensive starting line and linebacker part and put him on the field so he'll be fresh as a running back so he can alternate with Thompson.
Yeah, Duran had a good second half in that MacArthur game. Not much at all on 3rd down. Penetration to the 31-yard line.
Fuentes there on the tackle. Defensively, Daniel, Juarez, and Cantarero, the 3 up front. Then they have 4 linebackers, Alvarez, Castro, Claros, and Munoz. And then in the secondary, Cheney, Diaz, Nessler, who came up with that fumble earlier, and Cage Williams, the other cornerback.
It's 4th and 6. Vikings will convert, caught on a post pattern at the 24-yard line, and the flag dropped in the Viking backfield.
I think that's going to be roughing the passer against the Tigers. That'll add on some more yardage. Taking a look there at Paul Majors, tonight's referee.
Making sure that his man gave him the right information on Maldonado, who was hit a little late. Right now it's at the 23.
Rough the passer on the defense. 15 yards, automatic first down.
That'll scoot it inside the 15. It'll be placed at the 11. 1st and 10, Vikings at the Irving Tiger 11.
There's Mark Small, the head coach of the Nimitz Vikings, looking for his first win as a head coach. Offensively, the guys look pretty sharp tonight. That was a nice pass by Maldonado.
Duran will now shift over to the right of Maldonado. From the 11, man in motion. And Duran is smothered.
Not much there. Once again, number 2 making the play, Fuentes. He has done a good job so far tonight, keeping the corners intact, and no one can get any space around him.
It's a loss of 4. It'll be 2nd and 14. Two receivers on either side. Maldonado on 2nd and long. Throws a deep pass towards a corner, trying to reel it in, and just out of the reach of Christopher Hernandez.
Maybe a step, not much more than that, on the defensive secondary of the Irving Tigers. That was number 5, Sanchez, and across the way, 2nd year for David Munoz and the Irving Tigers. Always seems weird to see one of the Irving schools on that far sideline when they're the visitor, but someone's got to be it.
Jorge Huerta, number 82, wide right on 3rd and needing close to 14, and hold everything as we have motion and a procedure call against Nimitz. So that'll scoot him back 5.
Ball start. 72 of the offense. 5 yards. Still 3rd down.
As against Bonilla, the left tackle. Be a good little matchup at the bottom of your screen with Horte, number 82, who has some good size.
3rd down.
He's going one-on-one in the corner, and not a lot of help for the DB. Looks like Cheney, maybe 13 down there, guarding him. Well, now Vikings kind of flood the bottom too.
At the 19, on 3rd and long. Maldonado will keep it, trying to find a crease, and is stacked up at the 17. Not much at all for the junior, who comes in with a couple of touchdowns rushing, 5 through the air. He's also thrown 5 interceptions.
That middle line did a good job of not allowing Maldonado any sort of room to run. Juarez and Cantarero both kind of plugging up the middle.
So on 4th down, the Vikings will attempt a 35-yard field goal. Giovanni Garcia has it up, and this one is good from 35. Just inside the right uprights, and the Vikings are on the board.
Well, quite a difference between two teams, huh? One trying to take the lead with the three-pointer, and they get it blocked, and then the other team marches down, and they make theirs about the same distance, 35 yards out. That was 9 plays overall, used up about 3 minutes off the clock, and the Vikings hit the board first. Tonight's weather brought to you by ICTN. 88 degrees at kickoff, very low humidity. It feels great outside. A lot of folks are ready for that cool weather to make its way into North Texas. Not yet, but it's still nice. Not a lot of wind either. Just a beautiful night here at Joy and Ralph Ellis Stadium. The year 2022 edition of this great rivalry.
Would you call it a balmy 88?
No,
balmy 88?
No, balmy. If the humidity was high, Mr. Nelson, I would call it balmy. But since the humidity is so low and it doesn't feel like your clothes are sticking to you at all.
That's a key.
Yeah, I don't think it's balmy whatsoever.
Giovanni Garcia has it teed up. Dropping back a couple of more yards as Aiden Benavides, number 22, now scoots back to the 8. You'll never see it. It's high. It is short. Fair catch called for. It is clogged up. And that is where the Tigers secure it. It has to go 10. It did. Fair catch indicated as they climbed all over Frederick Webb, number 16.
And that'll be interference against the Vikings if I
Didn't give
read
him
that
any room at
correctly. None whatsoever. Ball didn't go quite as far, I'm sure, as the Vikings had practiced that.
It was popped up very, very high. And the contact at about the 47-yard line as Paul Majors will indicate the call.
Kick catch interference on the kicking team. 15 yards from the spot of the foul. First down, Irving.
So the yardage marked off.
Big penalty, 15 yards against the Vikings. You see that a lot, John, not just the penalty, but all these teams love the pooch kick in some form or another. Oftentimes you might see it go out of bounds and they have to re-kick it. I was at a game the other night. They made him re-kick it 3 times.
Twice wasn't good enough.
No.
Well, they started from the 30. The Tigers now start from the Nimitz 37. Martin, straight handoff over right guard, and a gain of about 7. Nice quick pickup.
19 on the carry. Right number Louis King, following a 7-yard.
Well, we don't even have a 19.
2nd and 3. Unless he changed jerseys, there is no number 19. David Perez, as a wide receiver, can play a running back. Here's the keeper, Martin, over the right side, has a first down and goes down hard at the 23.
Well, the truck telling us that number 19 has 15 on the back of his helmet. And like you said, Perez is a runner, so we're going to go that route.
Thank you very much. The junior setback.
Had like 42 yards coming into tonight's game.
Searching for an avenue and not much at all. Loss of yardage.
Yeah, he's going to go backwards on that. Nice play right up there on the defensive front. Devon Simmons, a sophomore, number 58, first one to make contact.
Loss of a couple of yards. 3rd and a dozen. A 2nd and 12, rather. Keep an eye on Sampson, number 9. He is wide left. And joined by Perez, number 19. 2nd and 12. They go to the left. Perez reaches down low, secures it, and scampers close to the 20-yard line. You'll need about 6. Connor Martin this year, 2 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. Has close to 500 tandem yards.
Perez hadn't seen a lot of action before tonight's game. Just 21 attempts rushing the football and had like 1 catch coming into tonight's game.
Sideline left, open field right. The play goes to the right, inside the 20. And taken down hard after a gain of a couple. That's Kyle Sampson. Placed at the 19. It's 4th and close to 5.
Well, I'll say one thing about Coach Munoz and his offensive staff. They're being creative tonight.
Opening things up here.
Yeah, not just the usual drop back, throw a little out.
So Martin, quick out pass, caught, first down yardage inside the 15. Did he stay in bounds? Number 3, Chris Sanchez. able to tightrope it in.
20-yard touchdown for Martin to Sanchez. His first touchdown of the season, only his third catch of the season, and it's good for a score.
So after a field goal that was blocked, able to convert, and the Tigers lead at 6-3, trying to tack on point number 7. It is up, and it is good as the Tigers respond with 4:30 left in the opening quarter.
Up 2.5 minutes. Drive was 39 yards in all, capped off by this 20-yard touchdown connection. Breaks a tackle right there, and once he broke the tackle of Taylor, who's getting his first start in the secondary tonight, breaks the Taylor tackle inside the 15, and then he just uses his speed to get it across the goal line. And Mr. Nelson, this is pretty much what we expected.
Well, you set
in
up
the early go.
Yeah, you set up shop at your opponent's 37-yard line. You got to come away with something, and the Tigers able to score to lead at 7-3. The short 37-yard drive. That touchdown came a little less than 3 minutes after the Vikings convert on their field goal.
Yeah, 2.5 to be exact. He did make the extra point, right? Scoreboard says 6. I'm thinking he got the extra point, right? Yep. The officials tonight, Paul Majors is your referee, telling the scoreboard folks, hey, don't forget.
That point could be crucial.
It could. And the officials for tonight, we talked about Majors as your ref. Your umpire is Chris Schmid, L.J. Johnson, Marks, Baronski, Tooley, and Pierce. The men in the pinstripes tonight.
Gordwin and Griffin back deep. Short approach. Hangs it up high. And fair catch indicated inside the 30-yard line. That's number 12, Christopher Hernandez, the sophomore wide receiver. So possession number 3 for the Vikings, now trailing 7-3.
Vikings look good in that last series, but it was a major chunk picked up by Ashton Thompson. And then they couldn't do anything with it. They even had a roughing the quarterback call, and still unable to not get a touchdown, but walked away at least with 3 points.
They'll start from their own 28. Maldonado takes a snap, hands it off right side, still plunging ahead close to the 34-yard line. Gain of about 6. Number 21, Luciano Duran.
I think we have a penalty flag thrown in the general direction of a hold against Nimitz.
Offensive linemen don't look too happy.
Yeah, that or a face mask, one or the other.
Holding. Number 72 of the offense. 10 yards from the previous 5. Number 17, helmet came off and will be removed for 1 play.
And we have a couple of infractions there. Number 1, Bonilla called again, this on the left side. And then it appeared that maybe Jeremiah Johnson, number 17, lost his helmet. He's one of those defensive guys up front. He'll have to sit out 1 play.
That'll place it at the 18. It is 1st and 20. Maldonado loading up, going deep down the rail. Has a man. Can he get to it? Caught. 40, 30, 10 to the end zone. 82 yards. Number 12, Christopher Hernandez.
Oh, is that pretty? Hernandez gets past. Wait a minute. Hold the phone. Oh, goodness. Left side of the line called for holding.
Well, this one coming back wipes out the 82-yard rainbow toss to Hernandez. And 22 players march the other way.
Well, you know it's tough for an offensive lineman. You don't want your quarterback to get just all blown up back there. And that's what happened there. Maldonado had the time, and Hernandez, he was a good 5 yards past the DB on that far sideline.
At the 9.
And a big play is nothing more than just a memory for the Vikings.
Spot foul. It's placed just inside the 9. It is first and close to 30. First and 29. Into the center of the line and a short gain of a couple of yards.
Let's see if we can pick up the penalty by number 55. Oh, yeah, look, he just threw him to the ground. And that's going to be the call. One thing to block him, but once you kind of tackle him or manhandle him a little bit, the officials are going to pick that up every time.
Gain of 2, second and 27, 3:40 left in the first quarter. Nimitz, a playoff team last year, went 5-6 overall, 4-3 in the district. 15, 20, tripped up. Maldonado breaks a tackle and close to the 30, over the 30, out to the 32.
About 18-yard pickup.
Little breathing room. Nice gain on second down.
That play reminds me, have you ever watched Wake Forest this year? Their offense, how the quarterback he has like a read option, but he'll just keep it in the belly of the running back forever. He'll just hold it there, hold it there, hold it there, hold it there, then eventually either hand it off to him or pass. And that play reminded me of the same thing, where he just kind of kept it there as long as he could before he made the read to run it.
21 on the gain, 3rd and 6 from the 32. Maldonado, play action, looking, tosses to a wide open receiver who had it and dropped it. Huerta. Jorge Huerta had it. Couldn't hold on. And we'll set up 4th down.
Tigers are very lucky on this play. Look at Maldonado. He really fought to break free. Huerta had a good 3 steps on him at least. Got tangled up a little bit on the catch, and Vikings are now going to have to punt.
Maldonado does the punting. Number 9, Kyle Sampson, standing at his own 35.
They only have 10 players out there. Huerta's the 11th.
Play clock was down to 4, and the Vikings will have to burn a timeout.
Nimitz is going to look at this first half, at least the first quarter, and say, goodness, we had a touchdown called back because of a penalty. We had a guy wide open who couldn't make the play. Head-to-head competition between these two teams. They've been playing 52 times before this one, 53 tonight. Nimitz 4 in a row. Irving back in 2013 and 12 went back-to-back. They broke things up in 2017, but pretty much been Nimitz here for a while, and they do lead the series 27-22.
Vikings coming off of a loss last week to Lake Highlands, 57-14. Irving shut out by Berkner, 31-0. Maldonado gets the punt off. It'll hit at the 45, go straight up, back to the 45, and will be touched at the 43. Third possession for the Tigers, leading 7-3. Averaging 9 points a game. The Viking defense allowing a whopping 53 a contest. Irving's win came in week 2 against South Garland, winning that game 33-21. And here's Connor Martin, sophomore in the offense. 1st and 10 at the 43. Sampson wide left. And Martin will hand it off. It's loose. It's a pitch out to the left flat. Caught up high. And some running room, a gain of about 4. A juggling act, and able to stay with it is Perez. A true play action misdirection play results in a gain.
About 4 yards. Yeah, about 4 yards. Gordwin, one of those safeties they've got out there on the defensive backs, is the one who was able to track him down.
2nd and 6. Benavides the setback with Martin. Motions him to go to the other side. Play clock down to 4. They get it off. Here's Martin, pump fake, inside the numbers, throws and batted away and caught off of the deflection by a lineman. It was caught by Upshaw, number 54. Kind of a volleyball tip.
There's the tip, but did it? At first I thought the officials were going to take it away, but that was a legitimate play. Remember the years and years ago, it would have to go offense, defense, offense.
Right. Batted away first by one of the Vikings, though.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
No.
I guess they're just making sure that the Viking didn't touch it first. If it went straight to him, then it would be ineligible. He was pretty much down there anyway, wasn't he?
He was. 3rd and 3. Minute 35 left in the first quarter.
Well, I got to put Upshaw down in the stats.
A reception.
Yeah.
3rd and 3. Martin swings it out right side. Caught. Can the Vikings hold? And they have. He's 1.5 yards short. A trio of Vikings on the tackle.
You know, that was the same play that they used to score with when they hit Sanchez out there in a wide receiver screen. But the Vikings
Taylor, the sophomore.
Vikings did a great job of breaking that up.
4th and a long yard. And the Tigers in punt formation. Penalty marker dropped on the near side. Caught on the run at the 25, 35, 45. Breaking to the outside, breaking one tackle and taken down at the 40-yard line. But keep in mind the penalty flag dropped on the near side. Omari Griffin
on the return flag thrown on the play.
46-yard return. That's going to be against Irving, I believe, for jumping the gun a little bit, and that'll give the Vikings good field position if I read this call correctly.
Yeah, Griffin making a miss and a nice punt return.
Although the back judge is sitting back at the 20 of Nimitz, so
he hadn't moved.
Right. If it was 4th and 1, if it's against Nimitz, it's a first down.
No foul on the play for illegal formation. First down, Nimitz.
As if it didn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
And a 1st and 10 for the Vikings at the Tiger 37.
37-yard line, 38-yard line,
Possession number 4. Inside of a minute. Place it closer to the 38. So that's where they will start. Maldonado looking. Post pattern over the middle and caught at the 15. Huerta.
Yep, this time he made sure he caught that.
Nice pickup on first down. They mark it at the 16. The Vikings already up over the ball.
About a 26-yard pickup.
Duran the setback. He takes a handoff, plunges over the left side, and close to the 11. And that will be the last play of the first quarter.
Duran, 4th carry. Not a lot of yards, but we need to keep an eye on Thompson.
And we're through 1. It is Irving 7, the Nimitz Vikings 3. Back with the start of quarter number 2 right after this. Welcome back to Joy and Ralph Ellis Stadium on this Thursday, October 6th. 7-3 Tigers on top. Vikings on the march. They've inserted Zaylen Washington, number 20, as a running back. Nimitz facing a 2nd and 6. At the 11, it's Washington on the handoff and stacked up at the 10.
Well, running is nothing new for Zaylen. He's carried the ball a few times this year, not a lot. That was about his 9th carry of the season.
Ball squarely on the 10-yard line. It's 3rd and 4.
Saw number 33, Castro there. Two different linebackers than what we saw last time out here on ICTN. Omar Castro, a sophomore, and Patrick Claros, two new linebackers.
Empty backfield for Maldonado. Takes a snap, looking right, throws right, caught at the 5, evading 1, and taken down at the 2-yard line.
That's his favorite target. Chance Hernandez, or Christopher Hernandez, number 12.
His 18th catch of the year, has 2 touchdown receptions. 1st and goal, Vikings. Just outside the 2. Both teams battling the injury problem over the last week. They've inserted some players, moved around some players on both sides of the ball. From the 2 on 1st and goal, Maldonado takes it, shoves it ahead, and that one could have been intercepted, could have been caught. As it was, it lands a little short. Jeremiah Johnson kind of frustrated, had a chance maybe to make a catch.
He's been watching too many Patrick Mahomes moves.
They'll just shove it away at the last minute.
Yep. It was pretty close.
Very fortunate. Caden Holder was there, number 8. So it's 2nd and goal, just outside the 2. It's Washington, and it is 6. Zaylen Washington finds the end zone for the Vikings.
Well, let's sort out what happened after the touchdown call. A little extra curriculum going on out there. But the touchdown should be good.
Assessed after the extra point.
Sportsmanlike conduct after the score. Number 20 of the offense. That's number 20's first unsportsmanlike conduct of the game.
Did you get that?
Yeah, unsportsmanlike conduct against Washington, who scored.
Who scored.
So he must have done something after he scored. He cannot have another personal foul unsportsmanlike, or he'll be tossed.
It is 9-7. Garcia will try to tack on point number 10, the senior. Out of the hold of Maldonado. Good snap, good hold, and the extra point is true and through.
Vikings go back on top because of Washington. Look at the lead block, plenty of room. Let's see, what did he do? Okay, I see a touchdown.
They must have said something, or maybe he might have been hit a little bit late.
I don't see anything there, John.
Either. No.
I guess you can't celebrate in high school, right?
Well,
can you celebrate?
He wasn't chirping to the opposition. He was thanking the offensive line or the people that open up the hole for him. And
don't understand.
It's a 10-7 Nimitz edge now. Minute 21 seconds into the second quarter. So a field goal and a Washington touchdown run. Well, and a competitive contest so far.
Absolutely. That is something we were hoping for. I mean, you've got teams, you've got Irving that has been outscored by 140, and you've got Nimitz who's been outscored by 100 more, 200 and almost 40 points this year. But you got two teams that are equal. You got a little city pride on the line, and things are looking fun. They're going to mark him back, though, to kick off at the 25. Here's where that penalty comes into play.
Well, you try to want to hammer this one pretty deep. Benavides back deep, number 22, standing at his 30. But you kick off from the 25. I want to give him that shorter of a field on the kickoff.
That's the 5th penalty tonight against Nimitz, and we're still early in the second quarter.
So Garcia going to give it the full windup.
Will he? We haven't seen one yet.
And a nice spinner. It is deep. In retreat. Benavides scoops it up at the 11. Outside the numbers 20. 25 is hit hard, driven to the turf, close to the 29.
And applaud. We're going to applaud a kick that went all the way where it was supposed to and covered quite well by the Vikings.
Slow to get up is Gordwin, number 3. And no penalty flag as well. Going to mark it right on the 29. 4th possession for the Tigers. And here comes the Irving offense.
You know, these offensive possessions are averaging about 2.5 to 3 minutes per side. Really not deep and long time consuming series.
Martin on the keeper, 35. And over the 40, and we'll have a first down run of 11 yards.
Well, Martin pretty much kind of giving the Vikings a test of their own quarterback keeper. Martin had about 175 yards coming in. Nice little fake. Faked out the corner and picks up a first.
Able to get away from Luis Pena, number 17, at the 41, 1st and 10. Tigers opened up the year at Fort Worth Pascal on August 26th. Lost a close one, 16-7. From the 41, swing pass out on the left flat. It is caught. 45 over midfield. 40. And a nice run and a late flag dropped. Number 22, Benavides on the swing pass.
That's a 20-yard play if it stands up.
This is a flag-happy affair so far. Competitive game, but too many flags. Right at the end of the play, and here is the call.
Block in the back. Number 3 of the offense. 10 yards from the spot of the foul. Replay first down.
Let's see if we can watch anything. Number 3, maybe. Oh, right top of your screen. Right there. Kind of a combination. Hold and a block in the back.
Turned the wrong way and it cost him. Ball placed at the Tiger 47. So that makes it 1st and short. 1st and 4. Martin, pump fake, will keep it. Spun down. Able to lunge close to the 50.
Hey, credit Martin that time with not trying to pull the trigger and force a play, because the Vikings had that one read on a wide receiver screen here to our near side of the field, and Taylor was about to jump the route, and Martin just tucked it under, knowing they don't need a lot here to get a first down.
He needed 4, he got 2. It is 2nd and 2. From their own 49, twin receivers wide right. Martin from the gun, takes the snap, looking, lobs it high, overshoots his receiver at the 45.
Yeah, dangerous play. 3 Vikings in the secondary had pretty much just settled in a zone. Didn't let anybody past him, and he's lucky that one didn't get picked off.
Intended for Sanchez. It is 3rd and 2. Vikings on top. 10-7. Benavides is to the left. High snap. Benavides gets a handoff. Has a first down and more. To the 40. Drags a couple of players down all the way to the 37.
I see another flag. Nope.
Nothing yellow. There's no mustard on the lettuce.
Ooh.
1st and 10, Tigers from the 37 of Nimitz.
First time Benavides has carried the ball tonight. Picked his hole wisely and holds on to the football.
Hand off to the outside, and a first down run on the far side.
Is that Broussard with his first carry?
I believe that was his first carry.
So the Tigers spreading the wealth tonight, and a pretty good drive going here in the second quarter.
David Perez, number 19, into the center of the line, breaking up a couple of tackles at the 18, taking all the way down to the 15-yard line is Benavides, number 22. Aiden Benavides, a junior, comes in with 1 rushing touchdown this year.
5 different players have rushed the football here in the first half for the Tigers. Look like a first down from this angle. Are they going to measure?
I don't see too many measurements anymore.
You don't, do you?
It is enough.
LASIK.
Move the chains.
LASIK surgery. The refs can tell. They don't need it.
First and 10 at the 15. Perez opens and takes it all the way in. Perez with a quick opener from 15 yards out.
That extra effort at about the 2, making all the difference in the world for David Perez, the junior, scoring his first touchdown of the season. And it comes at the 7:49 mark of the second quarter and gives his Tigers the lead back again.
Another lead change. Extra point attempt is good. And now the Tigers lead by 4. It is a 14-10 lead.
71-yard drive, 9 plays, capped off by a 15-yard run by Perez. Right up the gut. Look at it again. Some cross blocking. Blocked down on one side, pull the tackle or the guard on the other. And Perez takes advantage and scores.
Took a shoulder hit at about the 2, but his momentum would have carried him in anyway. A lead for the Tigers at the 7:49 mark, as Rob said.
A fun first half, let me tell you.
We've seen Benavides. We haven't seen much of the passing attack, but Martin really hasn't needed it that much.
No, not at all. And I'm still trying to scan the sideline to see if we can see number 4. I can't tell if that's him down, John, by the 30 on the sideline.
Well, they've got Gordwin back deep with Griffin. Yeah, trying to find Ashton Thompson.
Yeah, that's who I'm looking for.
So Banich on the kickoff, hangs it up high, backpedaling. It hits at the 21, goes out of bounds. Another flag just to make sure it did go, and Thompson with a helmet off, way behind the Viking bench.
It looks like about the 30-yard line.
Is he taped? Can't tell if he's got a boot on. I think he's got an ankle boot. So the penalty will place it at the 30. First and 10 Vikings at their own 30. Their 5th possession. Far hash mark for Pedro Maldonado and company. The movement is Hernandez. Maldonado will keep it, go straight ahead. You got 5, 10, 15. Maldonado breaks into the secondary, takes it outside the numbers, and carries it all the way down to the 42.
About a 27-yard keeper by Maldonado.
A design play all the way after the play fake to Hernandez. Virtually untouched.
Well, here's the running game right now. If you don't have Thompson in the lineup, who went out early, he's your big play guy offensively.
Chris Alvarez able to knock him down. First and 10 of the Tiger 42. This time the handoff over right guard and a gain of 2.
Again, not playing. Look to see. Yep, you're right, John. Right-hand side. He has the boot. The dreaded boot. That means some sort of foot injury, ankle, foot, to their big playmaker, Ashton Thompson.
So he's out of commission.
I mean, he's the guy that averages 6 yards a carry and is the big threat.
2nd and 8 from the 40. Handoff to the outside, and whammo right at the 35. Helmet to helmet. Number 11 making up space. That's Hills.
Duran, number 21. We'll either see Duran or Washington, number 20 now, doing the bulk of the carrying.
Got a head-on collision right here. Ooh. Got a paint swapper. 3rd and 3 from the 35. Maldonado, quarterback draw. Looking, now breaks it to the outside, tripped up, and able to dive close to the line to gain.
John, they had him trapped behind the line, and somehow he's so evasive, so shifty. He came up with positive yards, yet not enough for the first.
They need a half a yard. It is 4th and a half a yard.
Watch this. He starts, stutter step, he's lost. Nope, he's gained.
Had him bottled up, able to gain something out of it. Zayla Washington, number 20, in the backfield on 4th and a half a yard and hold everything. Play clock was down to 5 as the Vikings take their 2nd timeout.
Well, it looked like they were trying to draw the Tigers off sides, and when that didn't work, go ahead and call your timeout. Here in the early stages, though, well, early now, we're down to the 5-minute mark of the first half.
We're here next week. We'll see this same Tiger bunch as they take on the Cardinals of Mack on the 14th of October.
Here's a look at the district standings in 7-6A coming in. Highland Park, Jesuit, and surprising Berkner at 3-1. We'll see how long that lasts. Lake Highlands or MacArthur, could be those other teams. Overall, Highland Park a perfect 5-0, the only undefeated team in 7-6A. Some teams with 4 games under their belts. Some played that bye week. They've got 5 games already.
Now Mack will play Berkner the last game of the year. 4th and a half a yard. Maldonado keeps it, breaks into the secondary, and to the casa.
33 yards in all for the touchdown, Maldonado. This might be like that Nimitz-MacArthur game we had. Maybe not 100 combined, but the scoreboard operator is going to have to be on his toes.
It comes with a little over 5 minutes left in the 2nd quarter. And back and forth we go. It is 16-14. Extra point is up, and it is perfect as the Vikings regain the lead.
17-14. Maldonado just fakes, gets a block right at the initial point of attack. Also, Holder had a nice little block out there, out in the open space to your left. But they chased, if you noticed, Irving chased that handoff. Did you watch one of the linebackers? He got sucked into thinking the running back was going to carry the ball, and Maldonado just took off. He's the guy that you're going to have to key on now if you're the defensive unit for Irving High School. You know, put a shadow on him, have one guy just wherever number 7 goes, you go.
Have you ever double-teamed a quarterback?
Well, tonight might be the night.
17-14 the score, with Vikings converting on a 70-yard drive. And there is the man. He'll have one more year. Had 938 yards of passing last year. He can run, he can throw.
And John, they only used, 2.5 minutes or so of the clock.
It was a quick strike.
They've all been quick, really.
Number 23, that's Patrick Claros back deep. to the far side, over the shoulder catch at the 15. 25, running room 35, running room 45. And a nice kickoff return by the Tigers.
There's your answer to why they don't kick it deep too often.
That was Cage Williams. Cage Williams, a junior. He's a cornerback on defense. Can play CB. And a nice return. They spotted at the 48. So 1st and 10 Tigers, under 5 minutes left. Connor Martin hands it off, and nothing at all as the door shut on the left side. Trying to run behind number 67, Flores.
Well, both Ford and Renteria both clogged up the middle pretty nicely. Again, they've got Renteria, number 70, playing an end tonight. And they moved Mark Ford over from that end spot to the middle to try to stop the run a little bit between the tackles.
Hills, number 11, the outside receiver on the near side. It's a loss of a yard, 2nd and 11. Connor Martin looking for Hills over the middle, caught by Hills. And Hills to the 42. It'll be 3rd and 2.
First reception of the night for Hills.
Aiden Hills, a senior.
Yep, came in with 4 catches, close to 50 yards. Line did a good job of keeping Nimitz at bay and giving the quarterback Martin time to throw.
3rd and needing a couple. Sampson now wide right, Kyle Sampson. Clock running, 3:37. 3rd and short. Now 1st and 10 and more. 35 inside the 30 and to the 25. 16-yard quick pickup by Benavides.
It's going to be one of those rare games for both teams where they're going to rush for over 100 yards. They might get there just in the first half. Good lead block, good pulling block, and no one meets him until he gets in the secondary.
At the 21, 1st and 10 Tigers. They trail 17-14. Martin, he will keep it, looking for an avenue, and Martin draws a crowd at the 23.
It's one of those plays, John, I think you just call your own number just to keep the defensive players honest and keeping their eye out on the quarterback as big Renteria, the junior, made the tackle on the end out there.
They've got all 3 timeouts to work with. Spotted between the 23 and 24. It's 2nd and 7. Sampson wide left on 2nd down. Handoff right side. Yardage to the 18. It'll be about a yard short.
Ford on the tackle, number 52. Dragged him down.
3rd and needing 1. 2 minutes left in the first half. Benavides to the right. Martin on 3rd and a yard and a half. It's now 1st and 10 over the left side. Running room to the 14-yard line. They convert on 3rd down and a fresh set of downs with 1:42 to go.
And a timeout on the field.
Benavides with another carry. Spotted at the 14.
It's a 1-2 punch for this Irving team. It's either Martin or Benavides that makes the most of the yardage.
But you always have to be mindful of where Sampson is, number 9.
They tried Sampson once. He gained only about 3 yards on the play, and offensive coordinators sometimes a creature of habit, John. They see what's working and they don't want to change anything up. Afraid what might happen in the process.
Well, they went 71 yards on their last drive. This drive started at their own 48. There's the offensive line. Among them is Reuben Smith, sophomore, number 76. Out over the ball is Gallo. 1st and 10 from the 14. Martin. He will keep it. Martin to the 10. Martin to the 5. And Martin stacked up at about the 4.
It was a good 9-yard carry, if not 10.
2nd and a little less than a yard. Minute 20.
They got plenty of time.
Hand off and taken down right close to the line to gain. That's Benavides being helped up. That is very close. You take a long look at it. It's either 1st and goal or 3rd and short. It's 3rd and short. 3rd and a yard.
Tigers with still, 2 timeouts, so.
From the 5 to the goal line. And close, he got it. He got it over the double stripe. The quick handoff to David Perez.
He scored twice tonight.
And another lead change. It is 2017 Tigers.
The seldom used David Perez making the most of things.
Extra point.
They get it.
Rushing in to make sure the linesman, it is good. And that makes it a 21-17 contest. So that drive of 52 yards. Comes with 45 seconds left. Nice judicious use of the clock by the Tigers. Perez from 15, now from 5 yards out, his 2 scores tonight.
We've had 1 punt so far tonight. Perez just waiting on his blockers, waiting for room to run. Stretched out the left arm and gets the score. Watch again on the side there. He got a good block from Reuben Smith, number 76, that big offensive right tackle the Tigers have.
So able to convert and set to kick off.
So it's not like it was an odd score, John.
I'd like to see that conversion once more.
Yeah. Was it a called? Did they call it from the sideline? Usually you don't see anything with the score the way it is now.
Number 5.
Unless their kicker got hurt.
Short approach. Fair catch indicated for at the 19. And that's where the Vikings will have it with 45 seconds left in the half. That's number 21, Luciano Duran.
Fair catch by Luciano Duran.
Don't forget, the Tigers won the flip of the coin, deferred. They'll get the football back. Is that a Swizzler stick? What is that? He's enjoying it, whatever it is.
It's not a long French fry on the banana peel.
Nimitz at the 25. Do you go for the gusto, or you just set on it here and try to get out of the first half with any damage? You've got Griffin, number 5.
Just hold on to the ball here. From the 25. Well, Maldonado gonna go up top down the left side looking for number 5, Griffin.
He got it.
And caught. They go deep. Omari Griffin. Big play here with 37 seconds left in the half.
He just checked into the lineup as a running back, came out of the backfield. He gets the ball inside to the 42.
Beautiful pass in full stride. From the 42, 1st and 10 Vikes.
About a 36-yard hookup. There he goes again as a slot.
Maldonado juggles it, picks it up off the turf. Now just hoping to make something work. He fires to the near side, caught at the 30. Another reception for Griffin. Well, they've moved 45 yards now since taking over at their own 25.
Nimitz coach is right above us.
I heard them.
Yeah, as Maldonado really, I think, to their point, taking just a little bit too much time to throw the football. They were just stomping on the table saying, you know, come on, throw now, because Griffin had made some distance and was all by himself waiting on the toss. But now here you go, John, 30 seconds to go. Nimitz has one timeout left.
Moved 45 yards.
In just a couple of plays. We already know that Garcia, their kicker, who's connected on 35 yards tonight. And they're pretty close already into field goal range.
Yeah, that's his longest of the year. Garcia's 35-yard field goal, make it a 3-0 game. 1st and 10 from the 30.
Set Duran, they have split wide to the top, their running back.
2 receivers to the near side. As Maldonado looks, scrambles, still looking, will keep it. 25, trying to get to the 20 and is bumped out of bounds at the 21.
A lot of running there, John.
A run of 9 yards. Stops the clock with 19 seconds left before intermission.
He's a difficult quarterback to catch, that's
Yeah,
for sure. When he went to the left, he felt the pressure from behind, but then when he counters and goes the opposite direction, his lineman had everyone else blocked off, and he was able to almost get 10 yards on the play.
Yeah, the pursuit overran Maldonado. 2nd and a yard. He will keep it and lose yardage. Taken down at the 25. Loss of 4. Timeout taken here with 13 seconds left in the half.
If you're a stat guy, you always feel sorry for the quarterback who works so hard to get his plus yardage. But then if he gets sacked, you take some of that away.
It's a 5-point difference right now.
Needing a timeout and only having 13 seconds on the clock, I think has changed the complexity of this offense for Nimitz.
It has, and with no Ashton Thompson, they have to rely on Gordon, number 3.
Well, they're going to try a kick.
Well, this would be from 42, right close at it, his longest attempt of the year. So Garcia from officially 41. 41 yards out, angled to the left. High snap, pulled down by Maldonado. It is up. It is missing short to the left. 8 seconds left as the Vikings try to make it a 22-20 contest. And the ball goes over.
1 punt in the first half. Nimitz opened up this ball game fumbling. Tigers had a kick blocked. And then we start changing scores, except just for one couple of possessions.
So now you do just sit on it and hold on to it. Leading 22-17. We'll take the snap as Martin will hand it off over the left side. Gain of about 2 as Benavides goes down, and that will send it to all zeros. So it is halftime. District contest, the Vikings and the Tigers. Our halftime score, Irving 22, the Nimitz Vikings 17. Back with halftime highlights, stats, and both bands on our ICTN Game of the Week.
We're at halftime. The Tigers on top 22-17. And since they are the visitors, we'll go down to the field in the Irving Tiger Band.
Tiger Marching Band would like to recognize the outstanding band members of the week, Nicole Resendez, Aaron Gonzalez, and Samara Coleman. The Tiger Marching Band section of the week is Low Reeds. Their dedication and service to the band is above and beyond what is called for. The Tiger Band is under the direction of Scott Anderson, Ashton Seneca, Emilio Flaw, and Don Jackson. The Tiger Marching Band would like to wish the Nimitz Band good luck with their 2022 contest season. We are proud to share the field with you.
(22-17) your score. First half highlights, and man, there were highlights aplenty tonight. It was 3-0 at first, Nimitz. Chris Sanchez then gets a nice pass and made it 7-3 Irving. Then the Nimitz Vikings come right back, and it's Zaylin Washington, the backup running back. 10-7, now the Vikings are on top, but that didn't last long because the very next possession, it's the Irving Tigers, and Perez, extra point good, 14-10. Irving on top. Very next possession, it's the Vikings, and Maldonado, Mr. Offense for this Viking team tonight at quarterback. 33 yards, they went 70 yards in that drive. They were on top, but then once again, it's the running back Perez that scored. They had a 2-point conversion, and it made it 22-17, and that's where we stand right now at intermission, 22-17 in favor of the Tigers. First half statistics pretty much adds up the way you think it would. Look at the total yards. Only 4 yards separate the two. And the rushing, 111 for the Vikings, 143 for the Tigers. Not a lot of passing, but they made it count. And not a lot of turnovers between these two teams. Only one, just a fumble for the Vikings in their first series offensively. A little penalties, got a little sloppy at times, but overall a fun and exciting and competitive first half between these two rivals in the city of Irving. Now let's go back down to the field, and like they like to do so many times, they bring out the drill teams from both schools, both Irving High School and the Vikas from Nimitz and the Toy Tigers from Irving High. So let's go down on the field.
The Toy Tigers under the direction of Tasha Franklin and assisted by Lucy, and the Vikas, Shelly Seals, assisted by Marcy Cooper. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Please welcome to the field for your halftime entertainment, the Nimitz High School Viking Band. Drum majors for the Nimitz Viking Band are Anthony Chavez, Jocelyn Guzman, and Isabella Martin. The Nimitz Viking Band is under the direction of band directors Nathan Ewing, Michelle Casso, Eric Gibbons, and Ashley Tran.
Who's going to set the tone for the defense? Who's going to do it? Last rodeo, boys. Last rodeo. We pick you up first. Let's make it count, baby. Let's go. Come on. What you going to do? First drive. Let's go.
Tonight, the Nimitz Viking Band will be performing a portion of their halftime show entitled For All Mankind. Musical selections include Symphony No. 9 by Antonin Dvorak, and also Sprach Zarathustra by Richard Strauss. Now, please sit back, relax, and enjoy the performance of the Nimitz High School Viking Band.
Ready? Go! Ready, go! Ready, go! Ready, go! Ready, defense locker room.
22-17, Tigers on top at the break. Good show by both bands and the drill team. We'll have the second half in just a moment. Stay with us.
(22-17) the count. The Irving Tigers on top as Giovanni Garcia set to kick off and begin this second half. Irving Tigers will take possession of it first. They've had 2 touchdown runs from David Perez tonight, 5 and 15, and Sanchez on the receiving end of a 20-yard pass.
John, this could almost be like that MacArthur Nimitz game where it just goes back and forth, and last one to score wins.
Well, they scored 26 points, did the Vikings, in that second half. This one goes out of bounds. And they'll have it 1st and 10 at the 30 with the Tigers. Yeah, it was 42-14 at the half in the game we did against Mac. And the Vikings came close, lost it 66-40 as they put 20 points on the board in the fourth quarter, much to the running of Thompson, Maldonado, and Hernandez with a touchdown reception. But that was then, and this is now 1st and 10-30 for the Tigers. On top by 5.
I wouldn't see him change a lot of things. Martin was 6 of 9, 6 of 8 passing in the first half. But Benavides, he had over 60 yards. Perez had 30 and Martin 35. So pretty balanced just running the football.
143 yards of rushing in the first half. Martin, trying to add to the total, carries a couple of players with him out to the 34. Gain of 4 on 1st and 10. Connor Martin, 2 touchdown passes this year. As Rod said, the Tigers only punted once. They only punt of the first half. 2 missed field goals. And that was it. From the 32 or 34-yard line, close to the 34. 2nd down and 6. Martin, empty backfield, looks left, throws left. It is caught, not much, maybe a yard. Rolled out of bounds, and able to get to it quickly was Malik Jackson. Jackson, the strong safety. Able to cover that spot quickly. Virtually no gain.
Malik is like plenty of DBs in today's formations defensively. You have wide receivers split to, way from the line of scrimmage or from the interior lineman at the top or bottom of said lineup, and they're just out there by themselves, and they have to make tackles one-on-one or that's going to result in the big plays.
He is one of 2 freshmen on the varsity spot. 3rd and close to 7. Martin over the middle, caught and dropped. Right near the line to gain, but Sanchez couldn't hold on to it. So 3 and out.
Chris would love to have that back. I think maybe he's just trying to get a bead on what was in front of him and didn't watch the ball all the way in. First punt of the night for Irving, I believe.
Patrick Banich in punt formation. Back deep is Omari Griffin for the Vikings.
Second punt of the night. Ooh,
Their
a
second.
doozy.
Over the shoulder, chases Griffin back to the 20, picks it up on the bounce at the 18, 30, 35, down the rail, over midfield. Couple of flags fly as Griffin is dropped at the 44.
In the old days, John, that would be a heck of a block, and it would be applauded by everyone on the field to play. But nowadays, these defenseless players getting hit is frowned upon, and they throw the penalty flag. And that's exactly what's going to happen there, as one of the Tigers was blindsided on the return, and it's going to mark it back 15 yards from the point of the foul.
And that's a good rule, because in the old days, like you said, the guys never saw it coming. You got concussions, you got the wind knocked out of you. You may or may not come back in the second half.
Nimitz It'll be 15 yards from the spot of the foul. First down.
That is the 6th penalty of the ball game. And let's see if we can pick that up right about top of your screen. Top of your screen, get ready there. I mean, it wasn't a clip or anything. He did get in front of him, but the man in pursuit didn't have enough time to react, and that's a hit on a defenseless player and a 15-yard penalty, the third 15-yard penalty of the night assessed against the Vikings.
The rule of thumb, if you see the number, go ahead and carry out your block. If you can't see the number, then try to hold up. From the 26, that's where the Vikings have it, their first possession of the second half. It's Hernandez in motion. Here's the inside handoff and slip down. And a loss of a couple of yards. Right near number 20, Alvarez. A slip down, but they're going to mark it. And let's see, did he? Okay.
Offsides penalty against the Tigers, only the second penalty against Irving High here in this football game.
Flag was thrown a little late. That'll place it at the 31. It's 1st and 5. So a break for the Vikes. Zaylen Washington is running back. Here's the toss to the outside.
Boy,
still moving
running
straight ahead as a pile moves out to the 34. That's Griffin. Omari Griffin. And he'll come out.
He's like, I'm not so sure about this rushing.
Gain of 3, 2nd and 2.
You can throw it to me. I've got 2 catches for 46 yards, but this between the tackle stuff, it gets a little rough.
Maybe outweighed by 50 pounds. Luciano Duran in, number 21. Takes a handoff straight ahead and scoots over the 40. Gets down low, is hard to see. Played strong safety earlier this year, number 21. Enough for a first down, 1st and 10, Nimitz at their own 40.
How many plays before Maldonado calls his own number or gets it called for him?
Well, if he can get to the edge, it's a chase down to try to get to him.
He's so slippery.
Duran, a slot back to the right. Maldonado looking, right side, deep pass. It is just overthrown, just out of the reach of Hernandez at the 30. Bring up 2nd and 10.
That was Jorge Horta, number 82, that had gotten behind the defender. That's twice tonight, John. Go to it again later in the ball game. You're going to connect sooner or later. That's twice that Jorge has been able to get past the cornerback and pick up a bunch of space between him and the defender.
Right between the hash marks at the 40 on 2nd and 10. Holder in motion. Maldonado looking, scrambles, throws off the back foot, and short intended at the 35-yard line for Hernandez.
We had a guy downfield, I believe, ineligible 51, Barron. That was a good 5 or 6 yards past the line of scrimmage.
So that'll cost the Vikings yardage. Sometimes a lineman, they don't know if he's
Field. Number 72 of the offense. The penalty will be declined. 3rd down.
Yeah, sometimes the lineman, they don't know if he's going to take off and throw at the last minute because they've already tried to hold their own ground, but anywhere beyond the line of scrimmage, 3 yards plus, will draw the flag. 3rd and 10. Tigers decline the penalty. This is caught over midfield. That's Holder, the sophomore. Well, they needed 10. They pick up 15.
second reception of the night. Actually, Maldonado had 2 Vikings in the same area, and it went over the one closest to the quarterback and fell into Holder's hands. Watch again. There's the first one, and there's the second one. Also had Christopher Hernandez, number 12, out in the same area.
A lot of blue there. From the 43, 1st and 10, Maldonado will keep it. 35-30. Maldonado taken down at the 27.
It's like a broken record, John, but he's just so evasive.
16 yards on the scamper.
He's over 100 for the night. He's at 107. Fake to the running back, and he just has to wait until he finds some sort of gap for him to take advantage of.
Trying to get on him. Running back is out Washington. Washington now checks in and replaces Duran. So Zaylen Washington in the backfield. 1st and 10 near the 27. Keeper, Maldonado, 20. Close to the 17, close to the line to gain for another 1st down.
And he just reeled off another 10 yards in one play.
Nimitz trailing 22-17. Drive started from the 26.
Wind, not much of a factor tonight when you consider trying to go for a field goal.
From the 28, Maldonado throws on the run to the end zone, and one-on-one coverage intended for Holder, and that's Cage Williams in the secondary.
Cage Williams had a shot at it, and also Holder had a shot at it. Went through Williams' hands, and then Holder, whether he lost concentration or the side of it, let's see, there's Williams, and yep, he tapped it, just tipped it just enough to cause a little misdirection where Holder couldn't grab it.
Got a hand on it, did the junior defensive back. 2nd and 10. Ball at the 18. The keeper, Maldonado, 15, spins away from 1, inside the 10. Maldonado has it 1st and goal, Nimitz.
Another 11 yards. 128 yards on the night for Maldonado.
1st and goal, Nimitz, as they set up shop officially. They haven't pulled it down yet. At the 7.
Maldonado just following the big guys up front. Looked like Torres 66 with a nice lead block.
So it's 1st and goal, Nimitz at the 7. Who do they want in the backfield? For the moment, it is Griffin. He stays on. Play clock down to 1.
They got a timeout in time. Coach
Just
Small.
in time.
Yeah, head coach came running down the sideline, yelling for a timeout. You know, this game is not indicative of the way the season has gone for these teams. One win between the two of them, toward where they are at the bottom of the district. This is what has happened to the Vikings so far. That Pascal game is one they'd probably like to have back. MacArthur game waited a little too long to come back and score some points. But Pierce, we saw Pierce last week. They just did not have an answer for that running game for the Mustangs. And then Lake Highlands, one of 4 teams predicted to make postseason, and they lost that one. So a Viking team that in a losing streak, they've won 4 in a row in this series, but an offense that has really struggled to score points.
Our District 7 6A game of the week, one of our more competitive games so far on ICTN.
That one in the Nimitz MAC game.
1st and goal, Nimitz from the Irving 7. And Griffin stays in. He's a running back to the right of Maldonado. Man in motion, that's Holder. It's Maldonado. He will keep it, reverses his field, and drag down at the 2. Gonna rule him down at the 2. Panich came up with it, but after the play was, they ruled him down. So it's 2nd and goal from the 2. And now they'll bring on Washington, number 20.
Into the play up, legs down, ball scoots out.
2nd and goal. Zaylen Washington right in the middle, and it is a touchdown, his 2nd of the night, as Washington carried Banich over the double stripe.
This time Washington's going to make sure he doesn't do anything wrong to draw the flag, and he gets his 2nd touchdown of the night.
So Nimitz scores first here in the 2nd half. Out of the hold of Maldonado, the extra point attempt is good. So back and forth we go as the Nimitz Vikings now lead it by 4. Is that right? 24-22.
Here's the replay. 24-22. So maybe that 2-point conversion will mean something for Irving down the line, because now they're only a field goal away from taking the lead. That was a 10-play drive. It used close to 5 minutes off the clock, and it covered 74 yards. So quite an impressive drive for the Vikings, in one of the few time-consuming drives we've seen tonight.
So Washington's 2nd TD run, and a 2-point cushion at 24-22.
The one thing I've noticed tonight, John, is that both of these teams have kept their turnovers in check. Only one, the opening drive, where there was a fumble. You've got a team like Nimitz that has committed 3 turnovers in 2 or 3 of their games this year, averaging around 2.5 to 3 turnovers a game. Irving averaging 2 turnovers a ball game. Irving with no turnovers tonight, and Nimitz with only 1. So a clean game from that aspect. A little so-so on the penalties, especially for Nimitz. 6 times they've been penalized tonight.
Aiden Benavides will kick off, or Aiden Benavides back to the team for the Tigers, as Garcia with a kickoff, and over-the-shoulder catch at the 30. And that's where the Tigers take over. Aiden Hills there to secure it. Second possession for Irving. Hills stays on. Here's the goal line. Upshaw, Leva, Gallo, and company. Second consecutive start from their own 30. David Munoz over there in his 2nd year. He added 5 new assistant coaches for 2022. And haven't blown the whistle yet. Gain of 2 over the left side. Martin being helped up.
Vikings have put Keyshawn Walpole back into the defensive line. Did not see him in the first half of the game, so they're throwing some fresh players in the interior line as some of the fans give us a hearty, friendly wave. There is Keyshawn right there playing defensive end, number 44.
He's a senior, 2nd and 7. Straight ahead and stacked up at the 35. They'll give him the 35. It'll bring up 3rd and 5. That's Benavides.
Also Ford, number 52, in on the tackle.
So 3rd and 5 as the Tigers scrimmage from their own 35.
Tigers in danger of going 3 and out for the 2nd consecutive time here.
Vikings beat the Tigers last year 50-6. Won the game 2 years ago, 31-13. On 3rd down, a swing pass. It is caught right above the shoe tops. Or was a knee down? He went low to get it.
Knee was down, or it's an incomplete pass. One of the two, as Hills was running the wide receiver screen. I believe they're going to say it was incomplete.
No catch, so it's punt time for the 2nd consecutive series for the Tigers.
He really had to go low to fill the football, and maybe the ball hit the ground at the same time.
Amari Griffin back deep. There he is, number 5 at the 25. Punts away. Spiral, caught, dropped at the 25, and running out of bounds is Griffin.
Lucky for Griffin, he had the sideline as his friend. Nimitz with a really good rush on the kicker and just did just as good a job as staying away from him and roughing the kicker after they missed the block.
So here come the Vikings for the second possession of the half. Started from the 26, their first possession. They begin this drive from the 25.
And remember, their star running back is on the sideline with the boot on the right foot. So they've got to go with backup, second and third stringers. And they've even called Griffin in sometimes, number 5.
Now Maldonado moving some people around, takes the low snap. It's a screen pass broken up, intended for the receiver out on the near side, Griffin, and the party crasher was Alvarez.
Christopher made a heck of a move there and a great play, sniffing out that screen pass to the left. If it was a good pass, I think he would have picked it off. I don't know if Maldonado, he just kind of threw to the ground, and there was Alvarez with his hands out ready to pick the pocket.
2nd and 10. Hernandez in motion. The inside handoff coming left, 30, first down 35, and Griffin chased out of bounds. A gain of 11.
You've got to be creative nowadays offensively. As an OC, if you don't have that big stud to just carry the ball right up the middle all the time or off tackle, you've got to come up with a variety of plays to keep the defense on its heels and not be in tune to just one type of play.
Misdirection play, and the Vikings pick up 11 yards. 3:57 left here in quarter number 3, 24-22. Nimitz on top. On first down, it's a keeper, Maldonado, 40. Crosses the 45, crosses midfield and takes it all the way down to the 42.
Got a 23-yard gain for the quarterback.
Adds to his rushing total.
157. This guy's having a field day. Just fake one direction, run behind the biggins. Good block left side.
Vikings looking for their first victory of the year. Overall 0-6, 0-4 in district competition. From the 42, swing pass out in the right flat. It is caught and not much at all, and loose. Ball loose as it got away from Hernandez.
Yeah, they're going to say he was already down.
Virtually no gain. And a stoppage here. Got a timeout called. Maybe a play clock issue or
Nope.
some sort of.
Someone called time.
That would have been the Vikings taking their first of 3.
It's been quite a night for Pedro Maldonado, the junior, wearing number 7, the lucky 7. And the guy can toss him deep, and he can run with the best of them. One pass there, and this is what he does best. Fakes. You get a pulling tackle or guard to trap block, and then he just takes off. He doesn't need much. He's got very good acceleration. And that was Maldonado with the touchdown there.
Has been fun to watch. Caden Holder in motion on the run. It's a Maldonado keeper and crosses the 40, maybe gets yardage to the 39.
Maybe 4 if you're lucky. Thing is, John, this is only their second possession of the second quarter. You see the time on your screen, and the Vikings have been playing keep away pretty good. Their defensive side has forced Irving to do 3 and out 2 in a row. They scored on their first possession. Now just their second, here they are closing in on another scoring opportunity.
Irving led 7-3 after one. It was 15-14 point total in the second quarter. Maldonado, right flat, wide open. 35, 30, inside the 25. That's number 21 on the receiving end, Duran. So the Vikings convert. They get the yardage, officially spotted at the 26. Inside of 2 minutes, fast-moving third quarter.
5 different players have caught a pass, and 5 different players have rushed the football.
Holder way out by his lonesome to the left on 1st and 10. Maldonado will keep it, reverses his ground, and gains 2 yards. Hit hard at the 25. That was Anthony Munoz on the stop. Muniz, the senior. Second and 9.
They'll have a couple of more plays if there's not an incomplete pass before the end of the third quarter. Very quick third quarter.
Receivers checking their wristband for the play. They're stacked up wide left. On second down, the play goes to the left, and Maldonado looking, and twisting and turning, and carries it down to the 21.
You know, John, what makes Pedro so dangerous is his stopping and starting, his acceleration. He can just stop, and the next thing you know, it's like someone just shot him out of a cannon, and he's 2 or 3 yards past the line of scrimmage. He's gassed, yeah. He's really gassed. He's like, look, there's a second more on the play clock, so let's just go ahead and run this bad boy down and let me get my breath, and we can regroup to start the fourth quarter.
That's exactly what will happen as they go to the other side of the field. We're through 3, 1 to go. It is 24-22 Nimitz on our ICTN District 7-6A Game of the Week. John Nelson back with Rob Willman, set to go in quarter number 4. A 24-22 Nimitz lead. Nimitz trying to win for the 28th time in this series. Overall, the 53rd meeting. That's the west side below us. From the 21, it'll be 3rd and 5. Just about to resume play. Zaylen Washington, now number 20. In the backfield. Wide right is Huerta.
Waiting on the rest to get in position. Coach Small was having a conversation with a couple of them.
Holder, the other receiver on the left side. From the 21, from the gun, they start Huerta looping behind Washington. The fake to Washington. Short pass, a little bit short and low. Intended for Castillo.
Number 45. Yeah. We saw him come out of the tight end slot. The last time we saw them play against MacArthur. Haven't seen a lot of him tonight.
Well, they're going to bring on Garcia. If he connects, it would give the Vikings a 5-point lead. This will be an attempt of 38. Angled to the right for the left-footed Garcia from 38 yards out. High snap, pulled down quickly, on its way, and this one has no chance. It misses wide right as the Tigers have held.
Tigers really forced the issue there with a pretty good rush I think Garcia sensing the rush a little bit, put too much into it. Not any elevation at all. He just sliced it to the right, and it's still a 2-point ball game.
Yeah, we'll see what the Tigers have in the tank here as they take over at their own 21. Sampson wide right. Quarterback is the sophomore Connor Martin. He'll turn, he'll hand it off over the left side, and a gain of about 3. Look at the blue jerseys pile up. The running back for Irving.
There's Washington, number 20, playing both running back and linebacker tonight.
They'll bring on David Perez, number 19. A gain of 3, 2nd and 7.
We haven't seen the same type of offense for these Tigers here in the second half, John. They just seem like they just turn and hand off, turn and hand off.
Perez and Sampson to the short side. Empty backfield, Martin. Looking right, play action. He'll pull it in, take it upfield, and have yardage to the 28.
Walpole again on the tackle. Maybe that's the difference, you know.
Could be.
He's playing more in the second half. Maybe it was a disciplinary thing. Who knows? But now he's getting game here in the second half. And with Ford at the nose tackle right beside him, those two have paired off to really keep the Tiger running game at bay.
Frederick Webb, number 16, a slot back. 3rd and 3. Pass, Sampson goes up high, secures it, and draws 3 Vikings as soon as he came down with it. Had no chance to gain any more yardage, and Nimitz has held.
Well, that's the way to play that receiver screen. Let's watch this replay. Near side of the field. You get 1, 2. Next thing you know, you got 5 Vikings out there defensively. But the first player to really make the hit was Griffin, number 5.
Patrick Banich in punt formation. Amari Griffin, number 5, standing at his 30. And hold everything. Did they take a timeout? I think they did. I think the Tigers called time right before they snapped it to Banich.
You know, John, that is 3 3-and-outs for the Tigers here to start the second half. Now, next week, the Tigers will be taking on the MacArthur Cardinals, and they've got an explosive offense. Their quarterback, Willis, is 2nd in the Metroplex in passing, over 1,500 yards, 17 touchdowns, and only 1 interception. And this district has 4 of the top 14 quarterbacks in the Metroplex. You got Brennan Storr for Highland Park, Charlie Schmidt of Jesuit, and Tripp Holly for Lake Highlands. So quite impressive number of quarterbacks coming out of this district this year.
It is a good package. So they'll try it again as Banich standing at his 17. End over end. Griffin gets away from it and touched near the 32-yard line downfield. Number 6 for the Tigers, that's Jose Diaz.
So for the Irving Tigers, after tonight's game, of course, the one we were just talking about, they have the Cardinals next week here on ICTN. Then they do the Richardson Gauntlet with the Eagles of Richardson, the Mustangs of Pierce, and the Lake Highland Wildcats to finish off the season. Finishing up that MacArthur stat with the quarterback being number 2 in the Metroplex. Ironically, Brandon Henderson is a number 2 receiver in the Metroplex, averaging 30 yards a catch.
Pretty good numbers.
Outstanding numbers.
Tigers overall 1-4 from the 32. The fake to Griffin as Maldonado loading up, throws it just over the back shoulder.
One of the few times they flood the zone. They had 4 men going out to catch a pass that time, 1 on each side, and they put 2 down the middle, but not one of the 4 players could separate themselves from the DBs. So congratulations, good job by the Irving Tiger secondary.
2nd and a dime. A lot of room here on the right side. Maldonado hands it off straight ahead, crossing the 35. Trying to gain an extra couple of yards. That's Duran.
You can tell Duran by the shirt tail hanging out from underneath the jersey. He's been busy tonight.
Spotted at the 38. 9:05 left to play. A 2-point cushion for the Vikings. Hernandez is the move man. Here's the handoff, and the Tigers stiffen up. About a half a yard gain. Nice surge on the D-line for the Tigers.
That was a good stop that time by Irving High. Vikings in their previous 2 offensive possessions had kept the ball at least for 10 plays. They had scored once and missed a field goal on the other, so this time's starting to wind down a little bit here in the 4th quarter, so a big stop for Irving High.
Maldonado in punt formation. Kyle Sampson, number 9, drifts back deep for the Tigers. Straight up, straight down, and out of bounds. See where they mark off the angle.
I think this is going to be good for Irving.
Maybe closer to midfield.
Yeah, around the 48 or so.
Great starting point for Irving's 4th possession. It's going to be right on the 50. So from midfield, that's where the Tigers have it, trailing by 2, 24-22. Connor Martin has David Perez behind him. 2 touchdowns tonight for Perez. This is he over right guard. Perez struggles and gains 3.
It's his first carry in the 2nd half. So far, 3 plays, punt, punt, punt. 3 in a row, 3 series in a row for Irving High.
Their 4th possession, 2nd and 7. Thursday night football, our 2nd Thursday night game this year. Is that right, or our 1st? We'll end on a Friday, the 21st. It is our 1st. Martin throws, and did he come down with it on the run? That's Perez. Nice play by Perez to get to it and stay in bounds and pick up the 1st down.
Perez had an all-around good game tonight.
Yeah.
Watch this as Martin waits at the last minute, throwing off the back leg, but here comes Perez on the sideline, and you only need 1. He's pushed out of bounds, but had the 1 foot down.
At the 31. This one, is it behind the line?
He didn't hear a whistle, yeah.
Close to behind the line.
It was behind.
Yeah.
Yeah, the official up there on the far sideline extended the arm like it was a lateral.
And that is a loss of about 5. Spotted at the 37.
Let's watch the replay, and you can see, yeah, that's a lateral.
Ball is loose.
Heads up play that time by the Nimitz Vikings, number 17, Pena.
It's a loss of 6, 2nd and 16. From the 37. Martin drops back, going deep, trying to get it to Sampson. It is over the head, double coverage at the goal line.
Well, 2 flags. And it really didn't need to be because there were two Vikings on him.
Griffin was one of them.
Yeah, he had a good beat on it. 15-yard penalty in high school.
Pass interference. Defense number 3. 15 yards from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
So they go back to the line of scrimmage, mark off the penalty yardage.
Let's see if we can get a...
Trying to avoid the contact. Both of them did their darndest to not run into Sampson.
I don't know, John.
And by the time the contact was made by Griffin, the ball well over the head of Sampson. But they mark off the yardage, 15 yards. It places it at the 23.
Penalized 7 times, 85 yards for Nimitz tonight.
Closer to the 22. 1st and 10 from the 22 of Nimitz. The keeper, Martin, lunges to the 19.
Pretty much drags Contreras about 3 yards there, number 11.
Pulled down from behind. 6:09 left in the game.
Coaches,
2nd and 7.
Coach is telling us that, at this stage of the season, you oftentimes have different personnel out there, and we've seen it tonight from what we saw just a few weeks ago here at the stadium.
Play clock. I was going to say reset it to 25, so that's what the stoppage.
Don't forget, YouTube is your friend. Go to YouTube. You missed the game, just go back. You can watch it again. Maybe you played last year. Hey, you missed the game. Go to YouTube. Look it up.
It's always there.
Replay the moment.
And 7 from the 19. Martin will hand it off. Nice running room straight ahead, trying to get to the 11. And doing so, nice run by number 22. That's Aiden Benavides.
8-yard run by the double deuce. Basic dive between the guard and the tackle. They had success with that in the first half. Not so much in the second, but here they go with under 5 minutes to go and a chance to regain the lead.
Needed 7, he got 8. 1st and 10 just outside the 10-yard line. Martin hands it off inside the 5, right near the 5.
Benavides with another 5. I think maybe they've found something that works and keep going to it.
Just outside the 5, Aiden Benavides with another carry. 2nd and 5. They can pick up a first down without scoring.
And they really don't need to be in a hurry. And this is almost like an extra point, John. I mean, if they don't get the first down.
Drive started from the 50. On 2nd down. Handoff.
No, Martin's kept it.
Martin keeps it after the fake handoff, and Martin stacked up. He is so good on that play and stacked up right about the 2-yard line.
Don't forget, he's a sophomore. He's trial by fire. They've been keying on Benavides so much that he just yanks it out of his pocket and takes it off the right side. That extra effort, I think he's going to be shy about a yard. So they got, about a 3rd and 1.
3rd and a yard, just outside the 2. Perez, Frederick Webb in there. Perez, number 19. All over. Not much at all.
Is that same 1-2 combination of Ford and Walpole. Both of those guys have been outstanding right up the middle. We do have a player down. Is that Washington, number 20?
Hernandez stopped Cole, and a man down for the Nimitz Vikings. It's 4th down facing the Irving Tigers. He's up. Yeah, that is Washington. And again, they're without Ashton Thompson tonight. And Washington will be escorted to the sidelines.
Washington playing the outside linebacker. Jesus Rodriguez got the start in the middle tonight.
So he hobbles off with under 3 minutes to play.
So, John, we've got 4th down. I mean, you're in field goal range. If you have faith in the guy that does your extra points. Now, they went for 2 before. Let's watch the previous play. Dive left, look at the conversion. Oh, 2 players run into each other. And that's why he got hurt. His teammate, number 11, Contreras. They bumped heads. So
is there a change of heart? For the moment, you can forget the 3-point.
Yeah.
It's 4th and needing 2. Line of scrimmage is the 3.
They don't look in any hurry, do they? Are they going to let the clock run down, John? I think they're going to let it run down to 2:20. Call time and then decide what they're going to do.
This would be their 2nd timeout of the half.
Well, see, now that can backfire 2 ways. If you don't score, then you don't have as much time left to get the ball back. So they're pretty much putting all their eggs in the basket here of scoring, keeping the ball away from Irving as much as possible.
Takes it down to 2:19. Timeout taken.
1 timeout left now for Irving.
Well, the way that Martin can keep it on the fake, you would think that Martin might try to take it to the outside. They pretty well diagnosed Benavides up the middle as the Viking defense. He has a play called. He knows what he wants.
Oh, absolutely. He just says score.
What he's saying is, it's not like we're sending a canary into the coal mine and waiting for the result. Run the ball.
I think, though, he was on the home side, so he's like, let's play D. We're not going to kick it, that's for sure.
So here comes Martin and company. You've got Jeremiah Johnson. There's 17 in there. Benavides, the running back, almost a full house backfield. On 4th down, Martin plunges straight ahead, continues to move, and Martin has scored from, well, let's see, hold everything.
Yes, sir. We've had laundry.
From 3 yards out, and we will see.
I don't think they were set. I think it's against Irving.
The formation on the offense. 5 men in the backfield. 5 yards.
It's procedure on the offense.
Too many men in the backfield. Only their 3rd penalty of the ball game, but that was probably the most costly. So now you have to bring in your field goal kicker.
Did they have 7 on the line of scrimmage?
5 in the backfield, they said.
Yep. Only had 6 on the line of scrimmage, so this will be a 25-yard field goal attempt.
I mean, he's right fairly much in the middle. Very makeable. They'll have enough. The personnel isn't all there for Irving.
This to give the Tigers a 1-point lead from 25 yards out.
It was the center that wasn't out there.
It's pretty key.
Yeah.
Benich from 25 yards. It is up. It is climbing, and it climbs over the crossbar from 25 yards out, and the Tigers, for the moment, lead by 1. Well, that was good defense. That was some timely hitting, and coming so close to having it 1st and goal, coming so close to having the touchdown. But as it is, it's a 1-point affair.
See, Coach Munoz, he knew what he was doing, going for 2. Look at us second-guessing him.
25-24. And one more look.
Patrick Banich.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
Into the night.
He's like, I've got it.
So now, with 2 timeouts to work with and trailing by 1, you're kicking off to the Vikings.
We've seen Nimitz in that game against MacArthur where they fell behind by like 3 touchdowns, and that really crazy second half and crazy fourth quarter. They don't have Thompson back there, but they still have number 7. And Maldonado, he can make things happen as a quarterback.
Gordwin and Griffin back deep. A directional kick. No fair catch. Bobble, it's loose. And able to cover up quickly at the 25 is Griffin. Well, he got sideswiped and is in a little bit of pain. Really stuck hard as he hobbles up. So here we go with 2:09 to go, down by 1. Your official line of scrimmage is the 25.
And there's the star running back. I don't see the boot on his foot right there. Pads are off. Doesn't matter. He can't play. He can only watch. And they've been going to Duran a lot tonight. They've brought Washington out. Don't forget Washington. He got hit pretty hard by a teammate of his.
Penalty flags fly on 1st and 10. Another one down. Maldonado on the keeper. The only touchdown for the Vikings here in the second half was Zaylen Washington's 2-yard run. So they'll sort it out as soon as Maldonado got the snap. Vikings have won the last 4 games in this series.
See if we can sort this out.
Fouls on the play. Illegal shift on the offense. The penalties decline. Holding on number 67 of the offense. That penalty will be enforced 10 yards from the previous spot. Remains first down.
Well, the Tigers won on both counts. Penalty yards assessed the Vikings. That'll scoot them back and place it at the 15.
8 penalties, 95 yards.
Man, closing in on 100.
Yeah. They've cut the turnovers down.
1st and 20, they need to get to the 35.
For the Vikings, you don't want to panic. You don't try to get all 20 yards at once.
Maldonado scrambles, throws from his own 5, throws it up. It is batted away at the 45, knocked away. You had in the area Hernandez.
Tigers, they pretty much are playing soft. Look at all the white jerseys. Almost picked it off. Underthrown. Just playing center field out there.
Number 6.
Diaz, the senior.
2nd and 20. Maldonado from his 5 comes to the near side and no catch. Out of bounds was number 82, Jorge Huerta.
One of these games, John, to where whoever loses, you're going to look back on it. What if we done this? What if you done that? When it's so close. Nice catch, but just could not get the foot in bounds.
3rd and 20 from the 15. And at 45 on the clock.
I would send everybody deep and then have the quarterback just take off.
Or maybe hope for a flag.
Yeah, you're going to have to call timeout here. You're going to have to call one of your 2 timeouts.
Ooh, they got it off with 1 second on the play clock. Maldonado throws left side down the rail. It is caught! Over the shoulder catch by Holder.
Oh, my!
They convert on 3rd and 20.
Oh.
Caden Holder comes down with it.
Somehow he managed to get behind the defensive back and make a great catch on the sideline.
From the 44, 1st and 10. Maldonado looking under duress and throws it away.
And remember, John, that play, the previous play, he barely got the snap off in time.
Stops the clock with 1:18 to go.
The Vikings, they don't need a touchdown. They just need to get close enough to try to win it with the field goal.
Still have 2 timeouts.
They need about at least 20 yards.
From the 45.
Scratch that 30 yards.
Huerta in motion. Maldonado, play action, short pass, and overthrows his man at midfield. Had it in the direction of Castillo. Just got away from him. He was open.
Maldonado, one throw shy of attempting 20 passes tonight. He's about right at 50%. Coming in, he was averaging about 42%. He had thrown 6 interceptions leading into tonight's game. Has cleaned up that act.
3rd and 10. On the chase, still on the chase, and dropped at the line of scrimmage, surrounded by a quartet of white jerseys.
So the Vikings call time, John, with the 4th down and 9. They were able to keep this drive alive when Maldonado hit Holder on the far sideline and got a 1st down, but now they're looking at a 4th and 9 play. With 1:01 to go, they're still, I mean, the time element, at least at this point, is still okay. You don't have to get antsy about it and lose your composure. But the thing is, you got to get the 1st down.
Well, they need to get to the Tiger 45. That's the game.
Yeah, they have 1 timeout. And it didn't take them long to call the play. It seemed like the Tigers spent more time trying to dial up what to do defensively.
61 seconds to go. It is 4th and 9. Ball just over the 45.
Tiger defense with like 3 safeties 10 yards back.
4th down. Maldonado going deep for Hernandez. It is caught! Hernandez will score! Christopher Hernandez on 4th down.
Goodness. Oh my goodness. 54 yards. Maldonado to Hernandez, who gets past the secondary and motors home for the go-ahead point with under a minute.
His 3rd touchdown catch of the year.
How did that happen, Mr. Nelson?
Man. Just living right. Extra point is up and hold everything. Timeout taken maybe before.
Yes.
But Rob, you go back, the defense held the Tigers to a field goal on 4th and 2 down at their 3-yard line. They got the field goal at Irving High to take the lead. And then on 4th down, this happened.
Maldonado just dials it up to his favorite receiver who gets past the secondary. You know what had happened there? The corner took a bad angle. Look, see, he didn't take a side angle. He took a direct 90-degree angle to the sideline. Watch it from the end zone, right part of your screen. See the DB? He cut underneath him. He didn't go toward the ball. He cut underneath him and just took a bad angle in a bad decision on his part. And Hernandez, who's so fast, he's like Maldonado. They're so deceptive in their speeds, John, and they made it look easy on that pass play.
In search of win number 1 on the year. It is 30-25. They're going to go for 2 here. They are lining up and going for 2. This would give them a lead of 7. The 2-point conversion and a twisting attempt. Pass a little behind and over the head of Hernandez, but as it is, a lead at 5 with 53 seconds to play.
30-25. You got a guy that just made a heck of a play, and then on the 2-point conversion, couldn't reel that in. And he'll probably think about that 2-point conversion, because a lot of players do that are competitive like that. He'll say, I should have had the 2-point conversion. All it does is the Tigers have to score a touchdown, plain and simple. And it's not the 100-plus we had against the Vikings and MacArthur, but it's just as competitive and quite a delight to watch tonight, John.
Our most entertaining game of the year by far. So Nimitz will kick off. They are the home team tonight. And let's see, you got Sampson back deep for the Tigers, standing at the 10. And we'll see what Giovanni Garcia elects to do, well, what he's been told to do here by coaching staff.
This will be interesting to me to see. Do you kick it away and hope that they don't get a very good return on it, or just pooch kick it but then give them pretty good starting point?
Tigers have one timeout. Garcia gonna hammer it deep. Sampson moving over to his right, bounces high. He picks it up at the 8. Sampson looking for daylight. Sampson fights off one, but able to go nowhere as his forward progress maybe closer to the 13. Downfield he had Salamanca, 10. Spotted at the 14.
Now we got a flag back here at the 38.
Never saw it.
Don't know if that was an offsides against Irving. They're going to make him re-kick it. So that's going to help the Tigers with field position.
Offsides on the kickoff. That'll give a starting point at the 35 to kick.
John, that gives us an even 100 yards in penalties.
Does it really? Century marking. Penalty yardage. Combined total right now with 55 points. It was 22-17 Irving at halftime.
You know, no matter who wins, you know, I know the kids will think about if you lose for a while, but you know, give it your 10-year reunion. You'll laugh about it and talk about what a competitive and fun game it was, going back and forth.
Football history, school history.
Ooh, nice
wow,
kick.
look at this. Over the head of Sampson, will come out to the 25.
So now I'm like, okay, why don't you do that the whole time?
Garcia, a line drive effort, just hammered it deep through the end zone. So 46 seconds in which to work. Down by 5.
Coach Small talking to his players.
See how deep the DBs are. Well, they're at the 40, so they're almost 20 yards off the line of scrimmage.
This is an Irving team that has done most of their damage on the ground. And a situation now where they need to pass.
Perez Sanchez and one other wide to the near side. Martin on the run, rolls, has it cocked, throws, and it is short. Intended at the 39 for Hills. It's 2nd and 10, 40 seconds to play.
Not a lot of room, but enough room that Hills had separated himself to make the catch, but throw just didn't get there.
Sampson wide to the near side, guarded by Griffin. On 2nd down, Martin looking the other way, throws a strike, caught, and a gain of 13. Nice pass to Hills. Ball at the 38. 35 seconds to play. Martin drops back, looking left side, right side, hangs one up high, and overthrown into double coverage. They want a flag. Hills felt like he may have been pushed or denied the attempt to make a catch. No penalty. Take another look.
I believe, John, if this ball was catchable, it would have been a penalty. But it was a good 5 yards past the receiver, and I'm just guessing because of the fact it was 5 yards past the receiver, they didn't call the penalty.
Contact and a break for the Vikings. On the 38 on second down. Going deep, intended for Sampson. It hangs up, and it is intercepted at the 15. A lot of air underneath that one. And picked off by Gordon. Sakelian Gordon. And that seals the game for the Vikes. Hung up just a little bit too much, Rob.
Yeah, he didn't give his receiver much of a chance. He threw it wide right, and like you said, a lot of air. And I'm just, you think about the Irving side saying, hey, we should have got a call on the previous play, and then you turn around and the very next play you throw an interception, your one turnover of the ball game. But Martin just let it rock, and you can see he let his receiver just too much, and Gordwin just settled right underneath it and made the catch.
So Nimitz gonna earn its first victory of the year. They will win for the 28th time in this series. They will have won the last 5. So a victory formation for Maldonado. Drops back, loses 7 yards, but who cares? And a spirited bunch of Vikings begin to gather here on the west side